Silent Hill is the most important video game series of all time. It was noticeable because of its deep and symbolic storylines that left themselves open for personal interpretation and theories to thrive. And so I am going to tell you exactly what you should accept as real, and if you disagree with me, then you just don't understand Silent Hill as much as I do. So listen up, because this is the realer Silent Hill experience. So, Silent Hill 1 was released in 1999 and created the survival horror genre and was the greatest video game that was ever made. It was about Harry Mason, the real one that really existed, unlike the Shattered Memories Harry Mason, who isn't real like this one, so he sucks. And Harry Mason is trying to find his daughter Cheryl, who is lost in the town Silent Hill. What is actually happening in this game, though, is that the cult is trying to revive Satan through demonic Masonic rituals, and I know this because in this brief clip that I'm not going to show of the game, they mention the devil if you ignore all the lines before and after it, and so because the Masons are devil worshippers, because I read it on the internet, and I'm right, so that's what this game was about. Silent Hill 2 was the sequel to Silent Hill 1, but it was the best game ever because it was smart enough to not be a direct sequel, because games in this series shouldn't be direct sequels like ever. It was crafted from the glorious godly hands of Team Silent. Team Silent are the people who made the good Silent Hill games, and they are a group of people responsible for all of these games, which is why this game had a different director, drama director, and art director than Silent Hill 1, but ignore that because Team Silent made all these games, and it was definitely not just Konami employees called that because they worked on Silent Hill games. Silent Hill 3 was also made by Team Silent, and again, it's the same group of people, which is why Silent Hill 3 had a different director than both Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2, and the various team members' jobs were switched around. It's a real team, guys. Anyway, Silent Hill 3 was a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1, which is why it is perfect, because the series should be about direct sequels. Also, this game has a female protagonist, and and that means a lot because it shows how progressive the series was when made by Japanese people, because only Japanese people would make good stories with female protagonists. Then Silent Hill 4 was made, and it was a great game because it was a lot like Japanese horror and not American horror. Also, this was the first time made by this was the last game made by Team Silent, and it is about a serial killer, but it's cool because it's made by Japanese people, and I'm saying you should like it because it's made by the people that you should like. It's okay to like this one. Silent Hill Origins sucks because I didn't like it, and if you like something I dislike, it just means you don't understand it as well as I did, and you aren't as good a fan as me. Also, it wasn't made by Team Silent, and now Konami is giving the series away, and no Konami employees ever worked on the series ever again, which is why they suck, and the ones who do work for it in Konami don't understand it like I do anyway. I'm the only one who understands this series, so listen to me over the company that made it, okay? Silent Hill Homecoming sucked because it was American horror, and the Silent Hill series was always about Japanese horror, not American horror. Nothing about this series ever tried to appeal to Americans ever, and it was clearly set in Japan before. Also, this game is like the movie, which also sucked. It's like the movie because there is Pyramid Head, an underground area, and people, and those things were only ever in the movie. Also, it sucks. Silent Hill Shattered Memories is the worst game of them all, and it doesn't even count. The reason it sucks is because it is nothing like Silent Hill 1 or 2, and it should have been. But it also sucked because it was exactly like Silent Hill 2, and the story copied Silent Hill 1 by being a reimagining. It had no originality to it at all, but it also sucked because it was too original and different. If you like this game, then you suck because it doesn't count. And what's with the ice anyway? We all know the only other world that ever existed was the Rusty Blood one. Alessa made it all the way in Silent Hill 1 when she created the Foggy world, so it can only be the only other world. I wanted to end this video by telling you about how the cult in Silent Hill is the main focus of the series, but don't call it the Order because I need to pull some random bullshit that sounds like a legitimate fact in order to make you think that I am well researched, so it was never meant to be called the Order. But the problem with the newer games is that there isn't enough cult. There was no cult in Shattered Memories, and that is stupid because without the cult it isn't even a Silent Hill game. But then the cult in Homecoming is stupid because it focused on the cult when the cult was never meant to be part of this series anyway, which is why Silent Hill 2 ignored it. In the end, Konami is the bad guy, and you should hate them because it's cool to hate the bad guy. You should listen to me instead because I know what Silent Hill is really about, and that's why this is the realer Silent Hill experience.